Scammers online, spreading their lies, pumping stocks with dollar signs in their eyes. But we see through the noise, cut through the mold, calling out fraudsters. Truth be told, hey, expose the lies, let the story unfold. Truth be told, yeah, shining the light on the tricks they sold. No hype, no spin, we bring the facts, let the truth roll in. Fraudsters beware, your game's getting old. We're taking it back when truth be told. Truth be told. Truth be told. And the truth shall set you free.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Truth Be Told. We, again, tonight have a guest. We're doing this almost like once a month now, where we've got some people on to make the show a little bit more interesting. We also have, again, as our lead thing, not like it's by choice, but crazy things continue to happen. AZRH is our lead topic tonight. Before I intro in our guest, we're going to give a little brief from last time Josh was on about the timeline setting up this story so that we have some context for our guest tonight, Jason Van Dyke, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure because it's like cut off there in the back room, and I'm like, ah. Let's get this clip rolling. Full screen it.
Hold on. Another line. Freedom Well testing incurred debt. Okay.
You bought Freedom Well. Did you not buy Freedom Well?
Nick, it doesn't matter. You're saying that I don't pay vendors.
No. This is important, Josh, because you have two employees. Two employees that have reached out to me saying you haven't paid them. When you bought Freedom Well,
I bought it. They had vendor debt. I then
you
settled
buy
it
the debt.
So shut the fuck
you
up,
understand? You get the liabilities.
Nick, you know what? You know why I'm about to leave? Because you have
I don't care if you leave. You can either defend yourself or not.
No, I'm not defending myself.
You
You're
also
a
on your balance
liar.
sheet,
Dude, you're a
adding
He's just asking a question.
No, he's not asking a question. He said I have a history of not paying vendors. That is a lie. I bought a company.
Then why are you
the company had vendor
disclosing
debt.
lawsuits on your statement?
Why do I have lawsuits? Because Freedom Well testing incurred vendor debt. I then settled it through the stock. I then unwound the merger because it wasn't to the benefit of my shareholders. Okay? So then what happened?
So you were just like, well, give me shares. Please stop suing us. And then you're like, oh, actually, shareholders are not going to cancel that. And you think the debt is washed.
No, you cut people off at the wrong time. You cut people off at the wrong time with lies. That's what you do.
Josh,
you're a fraud.
when you make an acquisition, you can't just sell it back for $1 and pretend like, oh, I don't owe you anymore.
No, Nick, let me ask you something.
I think Platinum came in and saved that at the end by basically getting everyone to calm down. But basically, that was the entire situation.
I think that's like when I entered into the whole thing, and I was like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You came late that show. That's right.
Right. And it was already hot. I'm like, oh.
It was hot from the back room. Like there was.
So that was back in January 17th, where he was saying, okay, I paid the debt through the stock, and then I unwound the transaction, so the fraudulent transaction didn't take place. But I paid the debt. That's all we knew from Josh up to that point. And then we had this come from Kyle Mitchell of the entire transaction where basically the wells were being seized by a receiver. So I think that's where we last knew.
Aren't these are these the Kenneth wells?
Yeah, the KRF wells, it looks like.
That's Kenneth, right? Who was on that show that just sat there the whole time. I actually
right. That was like he was brought on because he was like their oil man, their landman or whatever.
Landman.
Yeah. So Jason, maybe you can get us up to speed of like the whole thing. Like, what were your first interactions with the situation, and like what are we missing from this story that Josh has been conveniently hiding from everyone?
All right. Well, first, just let me give your listeners and viewers some perspective of what I do. I'm an attorney, and the way I got involved with this is I do commercial debt collection. I work with a lot of different collection agencies, including Ryan and Jacobs, which one of their specialties is doing work for small, medium-sized businesses in the Permian Basin. Believe it or not, my encounter with Kenneth Feltz and KRF was before I even knew anything about Josh Cohen. I had filed a suit on behalf of my client, Grissom's Oilfield Services, for a debt. We had a receiver on that. He never paid, but given the amount, we kind of let that one go until recently. Now, the way I got involved with Cohen was we go to November of 2024. Ryan and Jacobs placed an account with me. U.S. Energy and Supply was the client, and Freedom Well Service was the debtor. Probably a little before November, but around that time. And we filed a lawsuit again. It was a $2 million lawsuit. I mean, for my practice, that's a relatively large lawsuit, again, because we mostly deal with small and medium-sized businesses in the Permian. And we filed it. We got it served. Eric Kurtz was the registered agent. They never answered. We did what we did every other time. We got a default judgment. We sat on it for the 30 days so it would become final, because anytime a judgment's entered in the state of Texas, the judge has 30 days to change their mind. After that, their jurisdiction to set aside the judgment expires. It's a final judgment. There are some ways of reversing it, but they're called like a bill of review, but it's very difficult. So we know at this point, as we're looking in a collection to collect stuff, I got a lead that Freedom Well was doing a lot of business with a company called Oxy in the Permian Basin. We thought they might have been doing business with some other people. We knew they were with Oxy, so we utilized. Like
Occidental or a different Oxy?
I just know it as Oxy, OXY.
Okay.
And it was a.
We can't hear you, Casey.
Yeah, I muted it.
Okay. That's the stock ticker for. That's the stock ticker for Occidental. I don't know.
Yeah, well, so what we did was we got Mr. Behrens. Mr. Behrens has done a lot of business with my office as a receiver. I've used him as a receiver for years. He's very good at his job. And we got Mr. Behrens appointed as the receiver, and we sent a levy on all of Freedom Well's accounts receivable over to Oxy. Well, it did not take long for me to get a call from Josh Cohen, representing to me that AZRH had merged with Freedom Well, which was normally that's great news for me. You get a publicly traded company. Little did I know the kind of publicly traded company that it was. You get those merger with a debtor that a lot of times gets you paid, and everything seemed fine. He emailed me immediately, offered an immediate levy, and we had captured about $200,000 in receivables. We released the levy. He made an immediate good faith payment with a promise of $30,000 payments every month after that, if memory serves me correctly. And we executed a settlement agreement. It's attached to all my pleadings in court. A lot of people all over Twitter, the agreement that he signed after the fact that Azor had merged with Freedom Well. We released the levy. We did everything we were supposed to do. He starts making payments. But the important part is that he pledged, I believe it was 10 million shares of Azor stock as collateral. It was, again, part of the settlement agreement. It's going to be held in escrow because there's like a 12-month rule. I'm a collections attorney, and I also do criminal defense. Criminal defense is actually most of my practice. But, I mean, I don't know about the 12-month rule. It was fine. We had the security, and everything seemed fine. Josh and I, Josh at the time was more than professional with me. We had a good working relationship, and we thought that Josh was going to work with us in good faith to resolve this. Well, obviously, other people smelled blood in the water, and it turned out that Freedom Well owed another $2 million to another company called Golden Ranch. The full name of the company is Golden Ranch Energy Services. And that debt was personally guaranteed by Eric Kurtz, Lane Williams, and Joshua Watson. Not Josh Cohen, Josh Watson personally guaranteed the debt to Golden Ranch. we filed a lawsuit in Suffolk County on that debt, and we resolved it on very similar terms. It was a promise to make payments, and another 10 million shares of stock was pledged as collateral, essentially to ensure that they would perform under the settlement agreement. And Freedom Well, which at the time was merged with AZRH, was dismissed with prejudice from that lawsuit, meaning we couldn't sue them again. And then we dismissed the other defendants without prejudice, meaning if something happened, we could go back after them again.
Right.
Well, that was in around March of 2025. Fast forward to April, things aren't going well. He's having problems. We tried to give him some concessions, but by May, he's telling me, I had to lay off everybody. No one will hire us with all these financial problems. And we really did work hard to try to let these companies like Oxy and the other people who he was supposedly working with know that, this is being taken care of. We've got a deal in place. It's secured. The clients are happy with it, and everything was fine, even though, well, Freedom Well closes. He says he's laid off everybody. He doesn't tell me anything about this merger being supposedly reversed. Well, from June through August, I had a lot of stuff going on in my life. We were secured. I didn't matter. My mother passed away on July 1st of last year, and I was doing a murder trial in Denton County in August. So between my mother's passing and the murder trial, that was taking up 100% of my time. A case where we were secured as creditors was not super high on my list. It was on my radar because he had talked to me and was making some representations that we could go to federal court, maybe be able to sell the shares early or something so my client could get paid. And we were willing to work with that. Well, I reached back out to Josh after this murder trial's over. It was around early September. And that's when he discloses to me the first time that this merger has been reversed. My reaction to this was, yeah, you can't do that. The debt's still owed. And the way Josh starts acting is, well, I have to do what's best for my shareholders, just like what he was saying. He's like, this was a problem for my shareholders. He didn't say at the time, he wasn't saying, oh, the Golden Ranch debt wasn't disclosed. And if he had said that at the time, I wouldn't have believed it. And the reason I wouldn't have believed it is because Josh Watson. That's
this email right here, right? That he sent to you about the whole.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Josh Watson was one of the guarantors of that debt and is now an officer at AZRH. So the notion that they didn't know about this was comical. I think I know what really happened, and it says the shareholders cannot suffer. I don't think this had anything to do with the debt not being disclosed. What he was doing was pulling the rug out from under us. So I'm trying to explain to this guy that that's not how stuff works. We have a contract that was executed by him in his capacity as an officer of these companies during the time where they were merged, and he and the conversation, and I take fault for my part in that. The conversation between us goes off the rails and gets nasty very quickly. He starts doing what he's been doing pretty much ever since then, saying, if you do this, there's going to be a federal lawsuit. I'm going to get you disbarred. It's going to be securities fraud. And I'm like, I've dealt with psychopaths before, and I'm like, who the heck is this guy? I mean, what does he think he's doing? Well, I was very upset, and I was just like, so essentially what you're telling me is that the security that you promised, your company promised by contract, was no good, because if it's something that you can just reverse and revoke at any time, it was never security, it was never an insurance policy, it was never collateral to begin with. Basically, you defrauded us. And so he starts talking about the stocks going to the moon. He wanted to cancel all but 2.5 million shares for each company. I talked to my people. They do not want to get in litigation with a publicly traded company because, again, they just turned publicly traded company. I'm not a stock guy. And they're like, look, 2.5 million shares. If it goes up even, it was at like 13, it was trading at like 13 cents at the time. They're like, if it goes up even a little bit, we're probably going to be all right. So we agreed to it.
And of course it rockets up to what, like $2 over the time that he's about ready to, he tried to rug you on this basically, right?
Well, no,
it was about the time.
No, that's not correct.
Okay.
He pulled the rug out in September. It was still very low back then. My clients, my clients agreed to this based on just his representations. Your clients are going to get paid, and he's telling me some stuff that doesn't make sense. Like, my board agreed to let you keep 2.5 million. If you don't do this, we're gonna do full, like you've got up there, full cancellation of all the shares. Federal court order, bunch of lawsuits. My clients are business people. They don't want to deal with Josh Cohen, so they agree to it. We sign it. I'm pissed off because I can tell. I've been doing this a long time. I can tell when things are going south, and at this point, I know that Josh Cohen's word is no good. Because up until this time, Cohen and I had a good relationship, but it was right here where I'm like, all right, this guy's a liar. His word is no good. There's something shady going on here. But my clients wanted it. We did it. Well, then you fast forward to a couple of weeks, but I cussed him out because I said, I don't believe my clients are going to be able to keep these 2.5 million shares. If you could just revoke them at will, that means you're going to do the same thing here, dude. You're a liar. I don't believe you. F off. And I just said, you know what? I know we're going to get cheated. And when you do, I'm going to make sure everyone knows that you're a fraud and a crook. I'll put up billboards if I have to, because people. That
was the thing that really got him going online, was the billboards thing.
Oh, yeah.
I remember him saying that a lot.
And I didn't do it. And I said, I hope if you do this happens, that all your people lose every single penny. Because my perspective on this is my clients who are hardworking people, if they're not going to get paid, then the people who invest with this crook shouldn't get paid either. And so I was
this. Can I ask you a question, Jason? Was this before or after he posted that it was a safe 10x?
I'm sorry.
Was this before or after he posted?
When was the timeline on that Facebook post? Because I don't know.
I don't know. He posted on Facebook.
If Jason's aware of the other shenanigans he's been pulling.
So he posted on Facebook that AZRH was. What was it? It was the safest.
He said
10X,
it was a safe 10x or something like that. It was probably around that same time because he was talking about trying to rug it around September. That's a little small, but
he really tried to rug it around September. But here's what happened. Fast forward to the end of September, I get an email. If you fast forward to like the end of September, I get an email from Hal Wallace, who's the decision maker one of the decision makers over at Ryan and Jacobs, saying, hey, we got this thing to be signed. And what it was is he wanted Hal and Ryan and Jacobs, because they had power of attorney as part of this, to sign this thing that would have resulted in cancellation of all the shares, not just the. So he would have got. There would have been no security. The clients would have been left completely holding the bag.
This one.
No, that's the one where we have the balance of 2.5 million shares. You see that at the bottom?
Right here.
September 11th is when he said, seeking a 10x. Feel free to give me a call.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you
literally the same time, yeah.
So he's talking about that, and then what he does is he doesn't send it to me. He tries to go behind my back, and he sends to Hal Wallace over at Ryan and Jacobs.
I think I see that. Let me see if I can
a document that would cancel all the shares. You can scroll. Lisa Terry. That's the person who was assisting him in this. Yeah, here you go, right there. Keep scrolling down. Yeah, it's farther down than that.
One other question: What board?
What board?
He doesn't have a. Does he have a board of directors?
I mean, I'm assuming that there's some laws that he would be required to. I mean,
not on the OTC market.
My guess, judging from what I've seen, is he's got guys named Jack, Jim, and Johnny on his board.
Are they all Josh?
He gets the reference.
Are they all Josh? Like the securities? Like I'm not sure that the OTC requires that, but
no, Jack, Jim, and Johnny. Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, and Johnny Walker.
That's about right.
Yep, there we go. Yep, there we go. There's Lisa sending the email to Hal. I requested your signature on this document as requested. So he completely, you see, he's got the new email address, the control dev, whatever the hell that is.
That's the thing that I've noticed about all your emails is like a bunch of them. He was using the Freedom Well testing email, and then he was using his controlled capital email. It's like, dude, why haven't you consolidated your emails on all these mergers?
Yeah, I couldn't keep up with that many.
Because
emails.
he plays 20 different roles.
Yeah, well, in case that's where he says this. They send it to me, and I say, absolutely do not sign this agreement. And Lisa Terry, then this starts. I have lawyers that'll bankrupt you. And at this point, on October 1st, I'd had enough.
Right.
Go back up. I say, that's it. I woke up at like early that morning, and I went in. He's like, I've got lawyers that are going to bankrupt you. I was up at 5 a.m. I'm like, I'm going to the office early, and I'm going to sue this guy because at that point, it's gone beyond just lying. That's stealing. That is that is theft in a felony level amount. And I hope he's watching this because what he tried to do is stealing. It is theft.
Well, this reminds me of, and I don't know if you're aware of this one, Jason, the whole transaction that he tried to do with when he didn't pay the Belzerian people, where he created this friendly lawsuit where Belzerian sued him in Florida so they could use securities law to basically create this death spiral financing for AZRH, where Josh took the debts that he owed Belzerian for this transaction to set up the company, put them on the company, and then made it the shareholders' problem.
Belzerian hasn't paid me enough to care, so I don't know anything.
Right. No, I'm just saying that this just sounds like a thing that Josh regularly does, is just kind of screw people.
He makes promises and he pulls the rug out from under him. Well, we filed that lawsuit. That's when I first knew that Lane Haygood was representing them. He puts online that Lane Haygood has had me thrown in jail for filing a frivolous lawsuit. That's a complete lie. I've only had a few cases with Lane Haygood. One of those cases was just a simple collections case in the Permian where I was representing a company called PRZ. Lane and I got on fine. And before that was a First Amendment related case where he was representing a political activist that my clients wanted to sue for an illegal drone flight over their property. We ended up dismissing that because there was a lot of uncertainty regarding the Texas drone law. But, I knew of Lane Haygood from some other matters I've been involved in that probably aren't relevant here. But, I mean, I've never had a poor relationship with Lane Haygood. He certainly has never gotten me thrown in jail. That's a complete lie. And the thing is, there is no criminal offense for filing a frivolous lawsuit. I can't, even if I had filed a frivolous lawsuit, which I did not.
You just get sanctioned.
You would get sanctioned by the court. I mean, you might get held in contempt if you do something really bad, but a court's contempt power is very limited. Okay, their power to sanction is broad. Their power to hold someone in contempt is extremely limited. Judges get reversed for holding people in contempt all the time because they don't even know themselves how limited that power is.
It's not used very often, and even from what I've seen in my experience, they're very hesitant to go too far. I think because, like you said, it's very limited, and also because, like, especially on the higher levels of contempt, when you're getting, talking about, a lot of people are like, oh, you did contempt, they're going to throw you in jail now. It's like a judge uses that as like a last defense if someone is being like really particularly obnoxiously bad. And like from what I've seen from judges, they'll say that's a possibility a lot, but they generally hope that people, like especially lawyers, just the threat will make them go, okay, I'm obviously being stupid here.
Oh yeah, and then the other thing is that most of the time a court itself, where they can hold you in contempt, what they'll do is they'll hold a person in contempt, sentence them to jail, but then say, I'm going to reconsider this if you just comply with my order and do what I told you to do.
Just purge the contempt, my dude. Yeah.
At that point, they're like, Okay, yeah, I'll do that rather than go to jail. And so because the judge, I mean, like this happens in civil court all the time. We've got in Denton County, which is where my office is, our county court at law judge that does civil stuff. He's very clear. He does not want to burden the sheriff with people in jail for civil contempt. He will sanction people, and Judge Ramirez has sanctioned people before. And I mean, I'm sure he would hold someone in contempt if it came down to it. But I know him. I mean, he's not involved in this case, but very, very few judges like holding people in contempt because it's a pain in their butt. They've got to draft a very specific order saying all the reasons they did it, everything they did before they hold them in contempt to try to get them to do what they're supposed to do, and that it didn't work. They've got to recuse themselves from the contempt thing. Another judge hears it. There's special prosecutors. It is a headache. So judges do not like holding people in contempt.
Yeah. And then I think what happened after that is then you sent the letter back to Josh basically saying, okay, if you're going to threaten to sue me, I have to do things to protect myself as a lawyer. And by the way, just the whole 9 yards of legal stuff of what
that's where he got a preservation letter. Because again, at this point, I know he's a crook, and I'm like, I need to make sure I've got this and that I've copied it and that he's got this, so that if evidence goes missing, he can be held accountable with a spoliation instruction later. So at that point, I had enough of his shenanigans.
Yeah. And this was what? Let me see here. So that was still October.
That's October 1st. Yeah, and the lawsuit. The lawsuit where I'm representing U.S. Energy and Supply against AZRH was filed that same day. So that was before the stock went to the moon, which is actually very funny because this idiot is saying that this email where I tell about, I'll take out billboards if you do this, don't mess with me, that this caused the stock to crater, and that was sent before the stock actually does go up to
this candle right here.
Yeah,
you can.
It was just under $1.
You can line it up with when he started.
A whole another $1.60.
You can line it up with when he started posting on social media, like started posting all the crazy shit on social media,
and doing YouTube interviews. There's a bunch of them out there with a bunch of these like shisty YouTube accounts with only about 1,000 subs. Okay, I guess I don't have much room to talk there, but
we're not shisty.
Around August 20th was around the first time where he said he's going to 10x the stock, and then he said it again in September. So yeah, that looks about right.
And then the peak was all the way up here. Like the peak was, it looks like November 3rd. And then right about here is when he started talking about the evil naked shorts. And then it's just all the way down. Like once a CEO starts talking about the evil naked shorts, it's over. The top is in.
When did he start diluting?
Well, he's been diluting the whole time because that's what he's been
to pay for all his debt.
Right. To pay for the debts, to pay to acquire all these companies. They were all share transactions because he has no cash on his balance sheet. Or I don't want to say no cash, but he doesn't have a whole lot. So that's why he wanted it to pump, because that way he could pay off people with the shares and use the equity as a credit line, like a lot of these shitcos do. So that I think is funny is like that whole lawsuit was October 1st, the first week of October, and it still doubled from there. Like that's kind of crazy. And also again, just going back to the original timeline, like this was all going on while he's having his whole the naked shorts are evil fit, and then does the interview with us in January when it's still about $1 and is talking about how, all this stuff with, Jason's lawsuit, when it's pretty clear cut, he just owes bills. And then, so back in October, he had already tried to unwind that entire transaction. And that's why you were suing him whole 3 months earlier before he even.
Yeah, he did bring up the freedom well testing and pretty much said, "Oh well, you know,
yeah, we paid it.
We didn't do
Job's
that
done.
deal anymore."
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind with that deal.
I mean, of course, I know what happened. He went on there. They go to. He does the work. He takes out all their employees. He does the work. He collects all their receivables. Has all the assets. Probably, my guess is he does what a lot of people in this business do. He looted the company and then dumped it because and because we know that that's what happened because while this has been going on, like we've been tracking him. We found some stuff in Freedom Well's name after all this. I got Josh reappointed as receiver to seize all this stuff and start getting it sold towards a judgment. And then he got sued by Blaze over it in Andy Tower out of Houston. Andy's a very good lawyer. I've had a case against Andy before in a Permian Basin case. Andy Tower is a very good lawyer. I wouldn't want to be sued by him. And so he's going to be dealing with Andy Tower on the Blaze stuff. And, you know, then this KRF stuff comes. And the reason here's the thing. I don't know much about I know how to collect money. If there's people in the oil and gas industry that want money collected, you call me. Okay. You don't call me about like 10xing stock or any of that. Right. I don't know what any of that means. I don't care. I'm not paid enough to care. So that's what we do. And, you know, I was like, oh, if KRF is doing this, well, that means there's potentially some money there. And I was hoping to collect some money for Grissom's, my other client. He says I'm just doing it to tortiously interfere in this business deal. Well, obviously the judge that signed the receivership order saw that a little bit differently, because if Josh Cohen purchased stuff from KRF, there's got to be some money in there somewhere that KRF should be using, not to put in Kenny Phelps's pocket, but to pay his debts.
Right. And then we had like the deal with like LDF Energy where he talked about how he bought that. And then we learned out months later that actually he didn't go out with that deal because it's up for sale, available at auction October 21st, 2026. And suddenly, you know, that deal fell through. The most recent filing that came out in your case, though, was the motion for summary judgment, and you said that was because he was not responding to discovery, more or less, correct?
Yes. There's a bunch of different tools for the discovery process in any type of civil lawsuit in Texas and just about every other state. Certainly all the other states I'm licensed in, it works very similar in federal court. And one of those discovery tools is called request for admissions. Under Rule 198 of the Rules of Civil Procedure, basically, you can send out a list of things and ask them admit or deny, and they've got 30 days to answer. And if they don't answer in that 30 days and don't ask for an extension or get one ordered by the court, they're deemed admitted. And the court does not have the authority to not consider them deemed admitted. However, if the courts do realize that mistakes happen, motions can be filed to undeem the admissions. There typically has to be good cause, but and I think that might be why we haven't heard from him in a few days, because again, I'm completely speculating here. My guess is he read this motion, saw that there was no response to my discovery at all in this lawsuit, probably called and yelled at his attorney, and his attorney probably saw all the stuff he's been posting online and said, you need to shut up right now, because now you've put me in a position where I'm going to have to call up this attorney, ask to undeem these admissions when you're threatening to file slap lawsuits and making FBI complaints against the attorney. And if that conversation happened, Lane would be right. They can forget about me agreeing to undeem the admissions, because Josh Cohen should have been answering our discovery instead of talking about fake frivolous lawsuits online, filing bogus FBI complaints, and basically being an idiot. I mean, answer your discovery, pay your bills. He thinks he's above the law. And you can find the request for admission. You scroll down, keep going. You can see what he was deemed admitted. Undisputed facts established by deemed admissions. And you keep scrolling down, but the documents are, he was acting on behalf of the AZRH. They pledged it. We allowed the accounts to be paid because they were in receivership. We didn't have to do that. Then he said that it was being reversed and the shares couldn't be liquidated. He said that was reversed in September. It was actually May 31st. We were a creditor, and the reversal was fraudulent as to us. He can't get out of paying $4 million in debt by selling that thing, by selling it for $1. We didn't consent to it. We consented to the first to some of the shares, but not the remaining 2.5 million. And if that consideration was subject to unilateral cancellation by him, it was illusory. It was fake consideration, and it's fraud.
Yeah. And so it wasn't just not responding to discovery. Have they even responded to the petition yet then?
Yeah. Yes. His lawyer did file an answer. And, okay. and what's kind of funny is in the U.S. Energy and Supply case, I actually had to go to Midland because they filed a counterclaim against me for abuse of process. It was completely frivolous. It completely ignored what abuse of process means. And so we went to Midland, and I filed a Rule 91A motion. A Rule 91A motion is what you file to get rid of a frivolous lawsuit. And our Rule 91A motion was granted by the judge. His counterclaim against my client was dismissed in November. He has no counterclaim. They did file an answer. If they hadn't filed an answer, I would just default them. But they did file. But all they've really done here is the counterclaim, the answer, and we had argument on the Rule 91A motion. I don't want to say that that's his attorney's fault. I am aware that it was a matter of, I know he was raising money for it. I know that Mr. Haygood, his attorney, had some health issues. And, I kind of staged some discovery, like in December. No one wants to be doing stuff in December. And then I knew he had some health issues in January. And so as a professional courtesy, I held off for a month and a half on serving discovery in this case because, again, I have no problem with Mr. Haygood. We don't agree on much, but I have no personal beef with him. And if I was very ill in the hospital, I would hope that other attorneys would extend me professional courtesies. And if I'd have served, I served the discovery. If he'd have said, "Hey, I'm still in the hospital," I'd say, "Okay, well, I'll give you another month." But that's not what happened. I served it on him. He acknowledged receiving it, and I haven't heard from Mr. Haygood about this case since.
Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at right now, is them responding to the summary judgment or trying to get it, get the discovery, and remove the deemed omissions and everything like that, or you proceed further, like they, that they don't respond and then the summary judgment goes through. I mean, not much wiggle room for Josh here, which, like you said, is probably why he's gone pretty quiet.
Yeah, like I said, if I were his attorney, if I had a client in his situation, the conversation I'd be having with that client would be like, "Look, dude, you're going to shut up on social media, and we are spending this entire weekend doing all the outstanding discovery in this case so that we can at least try to show to the judge that we've been acting in good faith." Now, of course, they do that. We've got his tweets and stuff like that. The judge will see exactly what he's been doing other than responding to discovery. I don't know how convincing that'll be for the judge, but I think it's under the circumstances here. He's been threatening to sue me for months now. I think the judge is going to say, "Well, you've been threatening to sue him. You haven't filed anything." Everyone knows it would be frivolous anyway. You'd have to be, reading what he says he's going to file against me, you'd have to be an idiot to take on a case like that. But because that would get you sanctioned. But he's done nothing. Ever since September, like I said, we originally had a very good relationship, and I'm going to be very truthful about that. It was not until September that things got ugly, And when they got ugly quick.
Was it when he had to pay? Is that when it got ugly?
It got ugly when I said, hey, we had these prior conversations about maybe going to court so that we could sell these shares early and get my clients made whole, and both of us moved down the road. I think my clients would have taken a significant haircut if we'd have gotten it resolved. And then in September was the first time he says, oh, well, my shareholders can't be responsible for this. I pulled the rug out from under you. Yeah, that's gonna ruin a relationship rather quickly, especially when I say you can't do that, that's illegal, and he says, oh, well, I'll sue you in federal court, I'll have you arrested, I'll have you disbarred.
He gets volatile very quick.
Yeah, I've dealt with some legitimate psychopaths. You can read up about it. His name was Thomas Retzloff. I've dealt with real psychopaths before. Thomas Retzloff was pure evil. Josh Cohen's not evil. He's just an idiot. Okay. But I've dealt with people who are pure evil before, who've made those kind of threats to me. He doesn't scare me. And I see this stuff. Oh, I'm going to file. I'm like, dude, don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah.
Because you file a lawsuit against me for securities fraud, I will destroy you.
Yeah. I guess I think that's a good place to leave it, because that's where you are in the case. Just one thing I kind of wanted to do before I get you out the door, as someone who is a legal professional, if you've been following basically Sarah Stogner basically investigating that situation, the way she made it sound like is it wasn't necessarily him, because some of these transactions could be, selling these bad assets that the Railroad Commission is taking away. That could be, it could be fraud him. It could be fraud the person selling them to him. And she was just, basically suggesting that she was starting an investigation, and Josh went full postal on her. Made 2 videos basically threatening he was gonna get her investigated and all of this stuff.
Why does he say we?
And she's the DA. Like, she's the county DA. What are you doing, my bro?
Well, he doesn't live there. He lives in New York. This is known. Like, why does he keep saying we? We don't want you. We this. Like, you don't live there.
Sarah Stogner, I'm sure, is a very capable prosecutor. I do a lot of criminal defense. I've never worked with her office on a criminal matter before, so I can't say yes, I've worked with her and she's really, I can't say anything about that. Obviously she is the district attorney of that particular district, which encompasses multiple counties in the Permian. If I had a company doing business there, the district attorney, whether they're good or bad, is not someone who I would want to be on that person's bad side. Again, my role here is to get my clients paid. Ms. Stogner's role is to protect the public. And if she finds that fraud was committed, I'm sure she'll act appropriately. And if she finds that no fraud wasn't committed, it just looks like it might have been because this is just a bad deal all around for people, I'm sure she's going to make an appropriate decision. And it's not just going to be her decision, because these would be felonies. It's going to go to a grand jury, and a grand jury is ultimately going to have the say as to whether they think there's probable cause that an offense has been committed. As far as whatever she's investigating, I'm not familiar with it. I don't know whether an offense has been committed or not. I mean, the only offense I know that was committed was the attempted theft of the secured collateral, which I stopped back in. That's the only criminal offense I can say, yeah, that was a crime. But, they're not going to, I don't think she wouldn't have jurisdiction over that. That'd be Midland who would do it. I don't think much is going to happen with that. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Again, my job is to help people, oil and gas operators in the Permian who are owed money, and help them to get their money. That's my job. I do it very well, and that's my role here.
All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on the case, because it's entertaining, if anything, when Josh is involved. Hopefully Midland can also fix their online system, because I tried looking up stuff on the case from maybe I'm looking at the wrong website, but I wasn't able to pull up anything because their Odyssey is down or something like that, or they send the link to the wrong place or something like that, or maybe I'm looking at the wrong website. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to keep an eye. Glad you could join us and take some time out of your evening to be with us, Jason, to talk about that case.
I appreciate y'all having me. Y'all have a good evening. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jason.
You too.
Yeah,
All right,
thank
good
you.
night.
All right. So now it's back to the wild world of meme stocks. We do have a few things that, even though Jason has left, some housekeeping cleanup. Of course, Jason, like I said, you guys, I think I posted the first video on YouTube. I haven't gotten the second one up. Have you guys seen the second one where he goes after Sarah Stogner?
I didn't watch the whole thing because it was like 6 minutes, right?
It's about 2.
I saw some of it. Oh, okay.
Or
Maybe
3.
not. I don't know.
We'll put it up to
just play it anyway.
Yeah. I was just getting it set. We'll put it at 1 1/4.
Sarah Stogner, you prove that you are so full of it and you only care about your selfish self-interests. Once again, there is no active case against Joshua Cohen. There's no active case against Vision Oil and Gas or AZRH Holding Group. The only active cases that exist are those that are known, which is those that were filed against Jason Van Dyke, which was not even in Warder Reeves County. There was one that was filed against Van Dyke and a company that we purchased, and they did that in a malicious effort, and it was over an $11,000 judgment. That's it. So the only way that you can have a case that was not recorded is if you went direct to grand jury and you have no cause. You have no cause. Just because you think that our transactions were fraudulent, our transfers were fraudulent, they weren't. That's what the good faith claim process in the Railroad Commission undergoes. And that's not a case. All that is a good faith claim hearing. That's it. Where we produce the title chain and the original leases. You are such a menace. You do know that all the constituents in Ward and Reeves County, they hate you. We all hate you because you don't represent us. You ran on a Republican ticket. You ran uncontested. Let me also remind you too that you have voted Democrat in prior.
But who cares?
I do. He said that in the first time too. Like, does he know what uncontested means?
No.
What do you guys think he thinks it means?
I think he thinks it means that there was no one like on the ticket but her.
Okay, well, in chat they say he thinks that running unopposed means that the people of her county don't want her. LOL.
I don't think he understands that it means that there was no challenger.
Right.
I don't think he understands that. That shows that they did want her, right? Like, or that nobody was going to challenge her.
Right. And
But I think he thinks it means that the people didn't vote her in because it was uncontested.
They still have to vote, but
she's
the only one on the ticket.
Correct.
And what's really silly about this is she was like acting like isn't popular or liked or doesn't do her job well is crazy, because one thing that he brings up later is that, she was running for Railroad Commission and she had the endorsement of the Republican Party up until, we'll get to that.
Elections.
Did
so
you see that
let me
comment?
set the record straight here. You're missing.
Comment says I would spend money at AMC if they showed Josh Cohen videos.
I mean, maybe Josh has a career after oil and gas.
Misconduct as a district attorney is right now, we are notifying the Attorney General, Ken Paxton, and it's not just us, okay? You have a lot of people that don't like you because of the way that you have represented yourself in our county. The way that you have attacked people, the way that you've attacked companies, it's disgusting.
It's not his county. He doesn't live there.
Yeah, doesn't he live in New Jersey? What is he talking about?
He lives in New York.
He allegedly has 2 houses.
I think he lives in upstate New York, right?
Oh, does he? I don't know. There's like snow outside.
I don't know about
Texas.
He doesn't live in Texas. He doesn't even own the home he lives in New York. You can't tell me he owns one in Texas.
Right.
It's abuse of power, okay? So keep barking online with your fake tweets and your lies, because it's all bullshit and we all see right through it. Beyond just the complaint to Ken Paxton, and we've already got his attention, okay? That's pretty easy. Beyond just that, we're filing a 1983 action, and this is just to start. We also see, too, you support Jason Van Dyke, a known fraudulent lawyer who has been arrested for frivolous lawsuits and is also a renowned Proud Boy and Nazi. This is our district attorney in Ward County. We can do better. We can do a hell of a lot better because she doesn't do her job. She doesn't. She runs the modern day mob. You heard me, Sarah Stogner? Okay. You're the modern day mob in West Texas. And we, the people, have had a fucking enough.
Who is this fucking we?
I have no idea.
Who is we? But basically he had that video. Maybe the voice is in his head, maybe. Oh no, it won't let me click and enlarge it. Then he went on basically trying to trash her. Josh Biernes. Oh yeah, that was the guy that was repoing the wells, so he got added to the conspiracy theories. Josh Biernes, right? I'm pretty sure it's right. Yeah, because we have Jason in there again. And then of course here. So he basically does what he does to everyone else and found Sarah Stogner stuff from when she was running for Railroad Commission and basically had it about that as if that matters even one twiddly wink. Like this is what Josh does. Like he just digs up stuff like he did on Jason or on Sarah Stogner, or like he tried to do with us, or what he did with Kyle and everyone else. And that's
good times.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but let me see here. Where were we? Oh yes. How do you guys
losses? Is that what he said?
Did you guys make the cut for the FBI investigation?
I didn't even know this was a thing.
All I saw was Jason's name, so I don't know if there was more on there.
Yeah, so I've got it here. I wish I could enlarge it. So yeah, so he's claiming 90 million in damages. You can't claim the damages of your shareholders, my dude, just for the record. Also, that'd be a complaint to the SEC. So here's who made the cut. So he added Jason, Nick Nemeth, Josh Pollard, John Doe 1, which is Kyle Mitchell, and then John Doe 2, which is it's me. I made the cut, guys. I guess Amy and Platinum are just not.
Oh, you're on there?
Yeah, I'm John. I'm John Doe 2.
Amy would be on there. Do better next time.
I'm John Doe 2 here at the bottom. I know you guys can't see it. Let me see if I can.
I can't see it. It's fuzzy.
Open image, a new tab.
What was it, Kyle Mitchell, or was it Kyle? Nemeth?
Yeah.
So Jason, Nick Nemeth. Wait, sorry. I got to switch to it. So there's Jason, Nick Nemeth. I like how he didn't blur out Jason's email, but was kind enough to do it to Nick and Josh. And then John Doe 1 was Kyle Mitchell, and then John Doe 2 was me, and he apparently doesn't know my name, so he didn't include it.
Uh-oh.
I mean, maybe.
He's on the beach smoking dope, shooting fireworks. Someone said he just showed back up on X a few hours ago after disappearing for a couple of days. He's on the beach smoking dope, shooting fireworks. LOL. That's right. Mm-hmm. My guess is that he came back because Van Dyke was on here.
Probably.
He's going to crash out. He's going to crash out.
Oh, yeah. And then, like you said, we learned that the KRF and Martin Foray deal is crashing out hard. Trying to figure out if there was anything else. Oh yeah, there was the multiple leases where his new thing about why we can't find all the wells that he supposedly operates is because he's running multiple leases. Operator leases, and that's why it doesn't show up, which doesn't makes it sound even more shady. And he's gone from I have 3 different operator leases to I have 9 operator leases. It's getting then why don't you just condense the leases? What's going on here, buddy? I'm I don't know. Just gotta upload these tabs. One of the other things that came up was StockTwits is normally the place where baggies reside besides X. And yeah, there's a couple posts of mine in there, but it's starting to get to the point where people are really not digging Josh Cohen over on StockTwits. In fact, if you go through here, you can see, like, here's his original post, controlled oil gas, but you go there. Oh, all the posts have been deleted. Oopsies. Well, I mean, maybe he still has some posts. Let's go to his profile. Maybe there's some stuff on there. Oops, I can't go to his profile for some. There we go. Controlled oil and gas. Nope. All posts. They're all gone. Job's done. No more posts from Josh on StockTwits. Apparently, the account that Kyle alleges is his mom is continuing to make crazy posts over on Investor Hub, though, which seems to be where they're really hanging out at. And it's been a long time since we've talked about Bronco on there, but he's also no idea why he's still posting on Facebook and here. He's also doing the same thing on LinkedIn. Last time I commented, I got threatened with a lawsuit and still have no idea what triggered him. He's very sensitive about his shortcomings. I would agree with that statement. I would agree with it a lot. Yeah, okay. This was the post I was talking about earlier where he says that he owns multiple homes in Texas and West Texas.
Yep.
Need.
Someone went and looked. And they checked like surrounding counties as well.
Couldn't find him?
No. They looked in like a couple around and they were like, nope, not there either.
Yep.
It's like James Fishback. Where's that guy live?
Oh, I did do most of the James Fishback catch up on the live stream I did last night because I didn't know how much time we were going to have, because sometimes these interviews go long, sometimes they go short. You never know. It depends on the person, depends on what you're talking about. But are you going to be, Amy, are you going to be part of the party that's going to be dutifully waiting to see if he shows up to his citation and contempt hearing April 1st on April Fool's Day?
Where is it?
That's pure comedy. It's in Florida. I'm hoping that there'll be a Zoom or something like that where we can do a call in and listen, but I don't know.
Cohen's supposed to be there?
No, not Cohen. No.
Oh, Fishback. Oh, he ain't gonna be there. I want to have that. I'm gonna ask that media. What's his name? Yeah.
I'm going to be there for the day before where we're all going to be getting together like a bonfire on X. And
I want to have him on at some point.
Well, I'll ask him. We've been DMing.
Asking him. Yeah, I've been DMing.
There you go. I'll make sure to give him the timestamp. There you go.
Yeah.
We can talk about James. Are you free Wednesday? We can talk about after we're off work and get together and be like, did James show up? That should be our next polymarket. We'll make a polymarket for it. Will James Fishback show up to his citation and contempt hearing? I'm betting
I
no.
probably wouldn't be available until like 8-ish, but yeah, I was on that space with him. And
yeah, did James was James there because he disappeared right before I left, I guess.
Oh, I didn't even know James was on there. He wasn't there when I was on there.
Oh yeah. I I hate to divert, but I can pull that clip really quick because actually I posted it last night, so go watch last night's show. He's burnt out hard. Okay. We're going to do some mainstream stuff really quick because there's a few things to catch up on. One of them was one of Amy's lawsuits. Remember when we talked about the Lululemon versus Costco lawsuit a long time ago? Yeah. Well, it looks like we are going to have a settlement because the judge is basically asking them to put the papers together for their motion to dismiss because it looks like they have an agreed settlement. In light of the party settlement on docket DK 68 or 86, sorry. So seems like that lawsuit is going to be taken care of. And I mean, when we looked at it, I don't know if you remember Platinum or Amy, but like it didn't look like there was any like trademark or patent infringement. And
yeah, I remember. Well, they were trying to say like that it was their like even like the gusset of the pants was their trademark, that the like the pockets, just all this stuff that I feel like were just pants, right? Like
yeah, like, and then Costco brought in the guy who did the designs and everything and was like, hey, you know, whatever. This wasn't Fishback claiming that he was only has to pay his attorneys if he wins lawsuits is yeah, I know, right? It was great. Well, glad you enjoy it.
Jen.
Boop, boop. We're gonna have a lot of MMTLP stuff here shortly once I take care of some house cleaning.
Oh boy!
Because, oh my goodness, there was some people they were not having a good time about certain filings that dropped Friday.
2666.
So briefly, we do have some Bill stuff, some Bill Pulte. Justice Department, surprisingly enough, found that there was no evidence of a crime in the Federal Reserve renovation project. Shocker.
But that didn't stop Trump from in those little Dick Sucking Roundtable saying that that Jerome Powell might, what did he say? Something like he might be the richest man, like accusing him of pocketing that money.
Oh my God.
I didn't pay too much attention to the
the
cabinet meeting.
Straight up accused him of. He said something like he's got to be the richest guy. I don't know. I don't remember the exact quote. You could find the video of it, but I was just like, wow.
Yeah. And then, of course, you know, the original charges against Letitia James failed. So now they have Bill Pulte has sent.
Well, mortgage didn't work. Mortgage didn't work. So now we're going to go with insurance.
Insurance fraud. Yeah, that's what they're going with now. Which why Bill Pulte at the FHFA would have any documents that would lead to evidencing not mortgage fraud, but like insurance fraud is like, what? Like, and wouldn't insurance fraud be more of a state level thing because it's states that set the insurance policy? So like, what are we even fucking doing here? I just, whatever. And then of course we got most recently that I guess Fannie and Freddie is going to accept crypto backed loans and stuff like that. So fun times. I'm sure banks will be super ready to just accept that as something that they want to do. Saw a video of some comedian.
That girl does. She has.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those.
Making some videos.
I don't even know who exactly it is, so I can't really.
MMTLP Canada is her name.
Okay. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about this one. So Amy, this first is what I saw. So, and then we'll get to your post, but that apparently they're toying with changing the lockup period for the SpaceX IPO so that people can so the insiders can get out faster. Huh? Funny that. Hey Amy, I think you may have some thoughts on that whole thing. The original, so first of all, original post was posted by FT and their article is paywalled, like annoyingly paywalled. And then of course, like Amy has been saying, this is a private equity bailout where they're basically going to dump on a bunch of retail investors and cash out, which is usually how the IPO process works. That's why I don't get involved in IPOs.
Yeah,
you are,
but this level, and like I was kind of having a back and forth with Chris Ty, who's my friend. So I mean, I don't think he was like attacking me or anything, but he views it as, you know, that there's just like such high demand for these like in the private sector, and that's why it's happening. But my question is like, if that was why it's happening, then why do we need to, like, he hasn't even filed an S1 yet, right? They're talking about how it's going to IPO next week. And then the merger of XAI
yeah.
So they're changing the process to allow him, right? Like they're speeding up that whole process. And then, you know, Chris kind of commented that they may be just trying to take advantage of the new index. So like my thing is that they're speeding up that process. It's usually 3 months before they're listed in an index, and they're speeding that up to 15 days. They're calling it fast entry, which is going to just shove this into passive investors' accounts. But the problem is that when they IPO, it's only a small fraction of the float that's available, right? Like 5% or something like that. So it's good. They're going to shove it into passive investors' accounts on a perceived low float, because after the lockup, whatever that is, whether they're toying with letting it happen now or whatever it is that they're doing, that's when the trouble comes. But, my question is like, if this is not for a purpose, because like they're going to 30x on this, right? The private sector in general is they're going to make a 30x on this, which at a 1.75 valuation with 20 billion in volume. So, or 20 billion in revenue, maybe 20 billion in revenue. That's what's listed for SpaceX and Starlink and shit like that. But because we know XAI doesn't make money, they lose tons and tons of money. But why this? Because Chris thought that it was because they were trying to take advantage of the new change, but in reality, the new change wasn't proposed. The new changes didn't exist before this. They're literally talking about changing the indexing listings for this. It wasn't something that they were like, let's do this for everyone. This came, I think the first mention of it was maybe on March 10th to take it from 3 months to 15 days. And then, they do this in NASDAQ, then it gets into the S&P, and then you have, all the other IPOs, whether they're good or not, are going to try to take the same route. Like, I just think it's a bad precedent. And if it's not for a huge liquidity injection, then why do we need to change the rules? Why do we need to change the standards? Why do we need to change the listing, the index listing, rules and things like that? Like, why? Why? It can't just be for demand, because the fact that Elon came out and said that wants to reserve 30% for retail or whatever, like that tells me that institutions aren't tripping over themselves to get this. So I don't know. I just think it's all, it's happening side by side with the trouble that we're seeing in private equity. I know that Blue Owl owns 500,000 shares of it. Google has an investment in it, and they all stand to make a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
And if anybody needs money right now, it's Blue Owl, right? And even BlackRock.
Yeah. So just following along with that, we just need to catch up on a few lawsuits. The first one is a lawsuit that we had been talking about previously, that the X.com lawsuit against the advertisers, and that one has been dismissed. We finally got back on that because what we had talked about previously, that these are the customers. Like, if me, Amy, and Platinum decide to boycott and organize a boycott against I don't know, AMC theaters, like AMC theaters can't sue us for antitrust claims, and that's basically what the court said. Some of them they just dismissed on the more threshold issue of the court doesn't have jurisdiction over these entities. But it was pretty obvious here, the idea that X was going to be able to sue its own advertisers for antitrust claims because they decided to boycott them is pretty freaking hilarious. I don't know what even to say there. So that pretty much wraps that up. Except for Amy, I think, had an update on our whole discussion last time when we were talking about the whole super microcomputer criminal charges against some of the board members for basically hawking NVIDIA chips to China through the back door. Yeah. So basically, we've got more stuff that's going to come down. Restrictions.
Yeah. So Congress,
NVIDIA.
Congress put in they want to suspend NVIDIA's AI chip exports to China because they, Jensen paid the Trump tithe, and I think he got some leeway on shipping to China, right?
Yeah.
And so now they're saying that needs to be suspended.
Well, that's how it goes when you have something that happens like this, where people thought things were, and like we said last week, the Trump administration now looks like it has egg all over its face because they thought they had handled this situation, and clearly they hadn't. So yeah, so some people are going to get some spankings, it looks like. Let's see here. So that brings us to meme stocks finally, and specifically to the metamaterials.
If you don't start with this, I'm gonna be like,
no, I like half of the tabs that I have open on this one browser right now is just dealing with this, because there is a lot to unpack here. So first of all, we have the brief that was dropped, which is basically the same stuff like the FINRA has been saying in all these lawsuits we've been in. So I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but the entire situation is basically we have investigative file privilege immunity. You can't, requisition documents that deal with that. Second of all, you're asking for, I think Amy said, 2 terabytes worth of documents. Like, I know the NASDAQ one that basically Palakaris was guffawing. That's like, oh, it's only 16 or 18 gigabytes or whatever it was from NASDAQ. And he's like, oh, that's just a thumb drive, guys. Just get a thumb drive and put it on there. But it's like, you're talking about 16 gigabytes of documents.
Documents.
16 gigabytes of movies.
Right, not photos, not videos.
Right.
Documents.
That's
crazy.
Like documents that are like kilobytes in size. And they have to go through and mark in a privilege log what are privileged and what isn't, and all of this stuff.
Well, they have to review every single one for privilege.
Hold on. The Funky Soul brother wants some MMTLP tea. You're going to get it.
Oh, you're going to get tons of it.
For sure.
Get it. This whole thing is MMTLPT pretty much from this point onward. There's some other stuff. We do have GameStop earnings to get to. And some other
GameStop
things.
earnings. Yeah, but that is not
once we get through the crazy people, then we can.
Okay, so if you go back up to the top a little bit, to sort of the just like intro,
2.5 terabytes.
Right.
5 million emails.
Keep going up a little bit.
5 million.
Can you keep going up a little bit? They quote exactly what they asked for right there. So what they asked for were 9 categories of documents, communications, emails, text messages, instant messages, and data for a 4-year period. This is what they asked for in the subpoena.
And they asked if they could get the narrow, discovery request that the other parties had gotten, and the trustee said no.
Right.
In the hearing and again in the filings.
Right. So if you go up a little bit, one more time, a little bit further. They put the actual quote. They quoted a couple of times in here. Well, you don't have to. You get it. So, yes, and then they say it's, over 5 million emails and 2.5 terabytes, and that they would have to go through those individually to look for privilege, right? And they said it would cost upwards of $550,000. And that they don't supply phones for like government issued phones. They have a program where they can hook up their personal phones and whatever. They explained all of the reasons why, right?
Yeah, so this is all work product and
so then they go into
investigative file privilege.
Yep.
And then the burden is undue because the trustee seeks data that from FINRA that would not be helpful to the trustee's stated purpose. The trustee has told the court that she's seeking data to identify specific brokers or firms who engage. This right here is the big revealing statement. Like, it would not be helpful for their purpose. The trustee has told the court that she is seeking data to identify specific brokers or firms who may engage in illegal stock.
The next part's the best.
Virtually none of the data.
Wait, hold on.
The
next part's the best. You're skipping right over it. They say, we have no idea, ... counterfeit shares, ... We don't know who the parties are that did that.
Virtually none of the trading data.
What are you talking about? Like they're
the
like
trustee seeks from FINRA would help them do that.
You made up is basically what they're saying.
Yeah. FINRA does not process this data at the individual firm or broker level. The brokers do. The brokers do. There you go.
Well, for like naked trading, so like, I mean, prime brokers, like I don't even, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, how can they give you something that you just make up? Like, you just made it up, right? Like, you did this naked short and spoofing thing. Like, you're just making it up. And then you want us to produce data for that. Like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently the MMTLPers do not quite understand what any of this means, right? Because they're like, I can't wait for the trustee's response, blah, blah, blah. Like, let's just break this down plainly.
Let's break it down. First of all, right here.
FINRA asked for a motion to seal the identity of the person who filed that declaration.
The
that you just had
that we're going to get to in a second.
So there's important. Oh, okay. I thought you already had it up. Anyway, so there's some important context.
This is the unopposed motion to seal, and then there's
right. But this is what they don't understand, like, because they didn't read it, which is what we learned today, as they all opined on it and started out
without
by
having
saying,
read it.
I haven't read the whole thing. So unopposed means that the trustee has already agreed to this, and it's not a motion to seal data. It's a motion to seal the identity of the lawyer, the FINRA lawyer, because they're like, who's this source? Who's this source? And just as FINRA sort of presumed that they would want this person's name, they do.
Yeah, so, because they want to be able to do what they've done to everyone else.
Right.
To dox them, to stalk them, to harass their family.
That's right. So, and what they're doing with this is what they asked to happen is that the one that they're filing, the declaration that you're going to get to, you're going to see the name is redacted. And then they are filing, or then they are going to send a paper copy of the unredacted declaration to the court that is only to be on camera reviewed.
Not on camera, in camera, which is basically in private. The judge is the only one that can see it.
Okay, sorry, in camera. Yes, only the judge sees it.
Just wanted to clarify that.
They're not, they're saying, like, we're going to send you by snail mail, the actual unredacted version, and only the judge can see it.
Yep.
They're not letting the others, like, and I think that sort of shows that they don't trust that they're not going to give that to.
They don't trust the trustee because, of course, they're working with George and
correct,
with
because the trustee is, like, she has so many inappropriate like relationships in this already, at least in my opinion. And so, yeah, it was very clear, and she's already seen this. She did not oppose it, which is why it's already happened. So the seal that they're all worried about, because they're like, oh, they're going to seal all of it. They're going to seal FINRA. Like, FINRA's hiding. They're trying to hide. Nope. They're scared. No. The identity of the person who filed it.
And it's already filed. And just the name is redacted. It's already there.
That's correct. But they don't understand that. So let's just try to break it down for them.
When you're busy harassing and sending death threats, it's really, how can you find time to reach it like this, right?
There was a part I want to say during that live stream, or not live stream, that space that I was listening to, where basically Busy, or one of them was, or may have been Junk, basically suggesting that they should start a letter writing campaign to the trustee because God forbid that they not get this person's name.
Right.
I did hear that, and they should do that. I agree. They should.
I think they should
absolutely.
too.
And then that they said they were going to make
Absolutely.
filings on the court docket, because what we need
Yes.
is another AMC Project Popcorn situation
Yes,
where we have
please.
all these MAT baggies filing on the fucking bankruptcy docket
Do it.
about
Well,
their...
last week they were, sorry, I have a cough drop in my mouth. If that's gross,
No
I'm sorry.
problem.
But last week they were talking about how they should reach out to the judge. Platinum and I were like,
should.
you absolutely should. You absolutely
that will
should.
go over so well.
Mhm.
I
It will.
absolutely perfect.
Yep.
Great,
Mhm.
great,
You
great
should
decision.
absolutely do that. You guys should do that.
Absolutely. But basically, they get into from here.
Matt Levine's article.
Yeah, which they tried to discredit this, but Matt Levine was reporting on the situation as it was happening and pointing up that that people caught up in this were receiving death threats. That was the entire point of linking to this article, which they tried to get her. And then you got to the actual photos of
This guy's posting some sort of, I mean, he's, got a mounted machine gun and some, I don't know if that's like a.
And release the blue sheets. Okay, release the blue sheets or I'm going to fucking what? And then of course the post after it, light up FINRA headquarters for us, brother.
And that guy's he was pretty prominent. I think he has a family member that is maybe at the SEC or something. He posted a picture from an SEC computer and everyone was like, bro, and he disappeared. But he was a pretty big deal. Totally.
Pretty much.
Yeah. All right.
The next one we got here. Why don't we kill those devils from FINRA? We got weapons.
And look at the tags. John Berta.
Well, that's the part that I was mentioning, and I'm pretty sure I have it. I know I responded to it. I don't know if I have it on the tabs here, where I basically not John Berta, but George Palacaris was talking about the whole seal and crying about it. It's like, dude, the reason they had to seal it is because you've basically, if not encouraged this behavior, have just basically not contested it, not said it was bad or anything.
Him and Palacaris both, why are they on social media? If it's not to just keep these people riled up, I don't know what for.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I said that you basically have been encouraging your little domestic terrorist network to attack these people.
Yeah. And he goes on Rob Carter's show and continues to push the conspiracy and say things like there is no MMTLP investigation. And I think the fact that they're citing these is that there absolutely is. And I was saying earlier, I wouldn't be surprised if they've got law enforcement involved with the way this happens.
This one, we need to start organizing and choosing violence. They won't listen to us otherwise.
Then this one, in addition
and
to
then,
explicit
of course,
threats,
you got Curtis basically suggesting going after their children.
Yeah.
You're not missing. Target someone, daughter of now infamous Patricia Casemates, currently serving as operations managers. Casamates, thank you. Currently serving operations manager for the subcommittee of the Energy and Water Appropriations Committee. Go target her children.
He was on a space today defending himself.
Yeah, and the
saying
space
it's public.
Yeah, and they were talking about how they weren't threatening, they weren't encouraging, they weren't doing all this, and then saying that how can you prove these people are shareholders? Curtis has been one of the most prominent ones, and they claim the space was scared of Curtis. They're bragging about it.
They're trying to say it's the shills, right? We make fake accounts, but this Luco Moon one here, interestingly enough, keep going down a little bit. Seems that the FINRA folks just may need some peaceful protests at their houses, schools, offices. Good thing all their pictures and names and info is out. See you soon, FINRA criminals. So they're trying to say, oh, these counts don't even exist. Well, they do. And you know who follows Luco Moon?
Berta?
Jonna.
Oh.
You think Jonna would follow a shill?
I mean,
and even if
Curtis
that was true,
literally...
you're going to tell me that Curtis is a shill?
I'm going to tell you Curtis is a shill. Look, he's trying to sabotage.
The actual definition of a shill. But yeah, and so they're all on... yeah. So, and Curtis actually had the stones to say that them listing him in this filing in his tweet.
Oh my God, is defamation.
Is defamation.
You literally posted it, my dude. You posted it.
That they're defaming
You made the decision.
him. They're defaming him.
He said he's being targeted.
He's being
for
targeted.
targeting
well, yeah, you are being targeted for being a piece of shit.
And I think they probably just picked off a few, but I'm sure they have, because in that
filing, I've got a list. We're gonna have so much fun.
They said that it's happening. They said that it's still happening present day. I'm sure they have so many they could pick. Like, I'm sure some staffer probably was just like this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Put them in there. Mm-hmm. But they have
even find the best ones. I've got some real good ones.
Yeah.
Second of all, like, there was a lot of talk about they didn't prove that these were shareholders, even though we all know that they are, and they're just lying to try and save their own skin. But they didn't need to. All they're doing is, Judge, here are these posts. They exist on the internet. These are threats we have received.
This is why
all the judge has to do is take judicial notice, which is it a generally accepted fact that these posts, these threats were made? Yes. Okay. Judicial notice taken.
Well, this is why it's unopposed, because how in the world could the trustee say, oh yeah, no, you shouldn't get it under seal, even though all of that's happening? Of course it's unopposed.
Right. Oh yeah, here's the post I was talking about with Berta. Check out these docs. There's some deeply revealing and disturbing about a regulator agreeing to saying that producing data would be too burdensome. It was 2 fucking terabytes, my dude.
And
even if we produced it, it would identify.
I heard that Gandalf guy going, the total that FINRA has,
their revenue,
revenue is 1.4 something billion, and they're balking at the 500 grand that it would cost. Yeah, they're gonna balk at that. Like, nobody's gonna be like, 500 grand is nothing. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Is Colt egging him on and saying he's going to be rich?
They don't get that they don't understand privilege, apparently, right? They don't understand,
or just the basic rules of civil procedure. The discovery has to be reasonably tailored to the results. So, like, say that this lawsuit comes out and they only get a couple $2 million out of this. Like, how is that discovery proportional to what was achieved in the lawsuit? Like, what are we doing here? Even if it was a couple $1 billion, you're going to make a company pay millions of dollars just to do discovery and then maintain that discovery for you. Fuck off.
Then they're I guess they don't understand that this was probably a lot of conversation with legal, right? Anything that went through any attorney, any email that they're tagged on, anything that includes a legal representative of FINRA is privileged. Period.
Yeah.
That's crazy. They don't understand how any of this works. And
they don't want to understand because it makes their arguments harder.
Yeah, no, they don't want to understand.
So let's go down the list of oldies but goodies. First, starting off with the first one, when they
that would be an easy fix, but they're not going to do that, Philip. Oh, that's Phil. It's Farmer Phil. Yeah, they're that will be presented in not accepted.
Have the estate pay for it. Yeah.
I mean, they do have $11.8 million in third-party funding, which we still have yet to get to.
Which I think will be
why
coming.
Why is the judge not asking where this is? Why do you have this? But whatever.
They brought up a couple times the source of the sus funding, and it sounds like the judge wants to get to it. It's just this discovery shit is in the way of them getting to it. So, of course, we had the OG one where they basically voided the fact that FINRA had been getting, death threats. Of course, we got the wonderful, if you push baggies hard enough, they should be able to do.
You have a situation too that, over the last 2 years, I mean, we have had some people that have committed suicide, et cetera, but we haven't had any blatant, I don't know, somebody running in a FINRA office with a gun. I will say this, that you know, when you push people to these kind of limits, you just never know what's going to happen.
You just never know what they're going to do. I mean, it's just,
Oh, you don't have the
never
Curtis
know.
one?
We will get to that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's in the row here, but of course we got Gardner Wade suggesting bomb threats. That's always nice. Nice.
Not unhinged at all.
Are these the honorable mentions?
No, these are the greatest hits. We're just going down. Like, remember those best of the 80s? This is like the best of baggy MMTLP death threats. Of course, we got this one where they're basically suggesting that they should Timothy McVeigh all of the FINRA office headquarters across the United States. In no unsubtle terms, like we should have U-Hauls pre-ordered so we can, you know.
No, I already have. I have already pre-ordered U-Hauls for each one. Okay.
Then of course we have well, I'm not going to play it, but we have this over on my channel. Basically, when we had what was it? Jack Schmitty basically saying that he wants to be able to meet people in me, Platinum, Amy's, and everyone else's personal lives, so he can personally try and ruin our relationships with our friends, our job prospects, and where we live. That's always great.
Starboard has said something very similar, that they should contact our communities and our kids' schools.
I don't think
there was, I mean, okay, but like I don't know why they think they can just go after kids, but apparently they like it.
And then we've got this one where they're basically
Jack
suggesting
following somebody who's out bike riding with their child. He's following them.
Yep. And then we got the one where they basically suggested, hey, it'd be a sniper's dream to be able to take out, you know,
Tom Slocum.
Tom Slocum. So like, got to get that back because I accidentally closed that. Let's hear, what was the next one here? Oh, here it is. I bet this is the.
Drew, do you have poop under your fingernails? Here, do you have poop under your fingernail? Go ahead and assert that I'm lying.
I'll go with my gut instead of your lies.
You're such a bitch. Such a coward bitch. He's
like
such a bitch. Like, he is the
Curtis.
biggest bitch I've ever met. Hey, bitch boy of fecal matter under your fingernails.
You're like the trust me bro king.
Hey, bitch boy. You are literally a hockey dad that is literally a tuck dad.
You're a clown.
I'll see you next Tuesday, you fucking bitch.
Did you just call him a cunt?
No, I told him I'll see him next Tuesday.
I think you're both retarded. I think Domino's opinions are his own.
I love the
All right, that wasn't even threats. That's just them being shitty people as usual.
So, and here's another one. Sorry, that I'm sure you don't have on your thing. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead. And if you've got ones you want to show, you know how to do it.
Here's this one.
This, of course, was the space I'm talking about, where they were basically talking about this whole situation and bragging that, you know, oh, FINRA's scared of Curtis, guys.
So it's not just FINRA. This is Ralph Norman's employee, little minion, Darcy, the money-grubbing destroyer of MMTLP. Darcy no doubt appears to have been an easy target for the nefarious Wall Street boys. Girl never had a chance. Play in the big ballpark and get taken ... And that was when they were... they got a FOIA with her name in it, and then they started to go after her. So it's not just FINRA; it's the congressmen that they feel have aggrieved them. Byron Donalds, who was probably the most quick respondent to any of them, said that the SEC told them that this was under investigation, and that made them lose their minds, and now they're going to his opponents, and everyone who they have asked for help and they has not given them the answers that they want. This is the result. Everyone, Pete Sessions,
and then of course we got the Jeff Davies situation where Jack doxed and then stalked his children and his ex-wife.
Jack posted the messages he sent his daughter. Did you see those?
No, I have not. I generally don't look for that stuff, which makes this hard.
So like it's not, he can't say that was a lie because he actually posted the messages that he sent his daughter. His daughter did not respond, obviously, but we know that he sent them to his daughter, Jeff Davies' daughter, Jeff Davies' son, Jeff Davies' ex-wife, who they continue to say awful things about for a situation but a domestic violence situation. And Jack makes the most tasteless jokes about that. Like, they're just bad people, bro. And then they sit in a space for 8 hours today and justify their actions. It's really something.
And then, of course, just as a quick update before we go back, that Jeff has gotten to the point where he's basically filed an FBI complaint for their continued harassment and targeting of him. And not just, by the way, by these baggies, but, the lawsuit that the company did against him, which is clearly a slap lawsuit meant to attack his personal investigative work and his personal participation. So this isn't just like baggies. This is like the institution of the shitco scamcos themselves targeting people who are investigating their shitty criminal behavior. So like, this is why all of us have been highly suspicious of this whole fucking bankruptcy process, because it just feels like it's tainted with the shit stains of Wes Christian and Greg and and George Palacaris and all these other actors.
So here's let's grab another one here. So because they were saying today in the space that this happened, like so long ago, and that
yeah, they were trying to say we threatened them in the past, but we haven't threatened them
Jack's
recently.
like, we shut it down immediately, and we do this and we do that, and like it's this. They didn't even know that FINRA were the bad guys then, right? Blah blah blah. Nope, this just happened on 3/10/2026. This guy said, in my humble opinion, whoever sold MMTLP short nakedly should be lined up and shot. We've heard Starboard talking about how they should be lynched, how, I mean, you name it. It's all over the place. Like Sam has a post with so many, right? And then, this guy, I don't know if you've ever played.
Who literally got told by the police to fuck off because he was stalking people.
Yeah. They followed him out to the highway. And he was like, I know where your kids go to school. I know what you eat for lunch. I know what your favorite drink is. Like, seriously crazy shit. And then but like Sam has a post of like numerous tweets of them making threats. And they're literally trying to justify this all day today. And really, like, oh, there you go. Don't forget Insane saying on Spaces that Davies may find a bullet in the back of his head.
Yikes.
I missed that one. Holy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the only thing that's sealed. Redacted. That's it. That's the only thing that's sealed. And you don't get to know who filed this, ever. And the only one that gets to know who filed it is the judge.
And they're basically going over all the case law. Like, we've talked about how all of their little fucking shotgun lawsuits where they just like try and spray all these courts was going to backfire. And sure enough, here's a list of all the precedents that are reasons why you should not grant this discovery.
And before you go back up here, because they actually say something very, okay, hold on. Keep going. Up. Okay. Hold on. On December 9th, pursuant to the FINRA Rule 6440, FINRA directed its member firms to halt quoting and trading in MMTLP because FINRA determined that the halt was necessary to protect investors and public interest where an extraordinary event had occurred or had caused or had the potential to cause significant uncertainty and settlement. Okay, keep it down just a little bit. There you go. Number 5. Beginning on December 9th, 2022, FINRA reasonably anticipated litigation would be filed against FINRA as a result of the trading halt. And FINRA was ultimately named. And so they knew against the backdrop of litigation, they're like, if we do this, there's going to be litigation. And so like when they say like, oh, they did this to protect short sellers and blah, 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 this was all planned and there was a big conspiracy and blah, blah, blah. FINRA knew. They knew. They were like,
they knew they were going to get sued. And they were already what they were.
And they were right. Richard Hoffman called them the day of. So when Junk Savvy says, we weren't even looking at FINRA then, we didn't even know about FINRA then, Richard Hoffman called them the same day. And he filed litigation on the 15th, I believe, or something.
Yep.
Like, yeah, you were looking at FINRA, and so was everybody else. And the hashtag FINRA fraud thing came up the day they halted it. Like, they're so full of shit, and they just, like, the lies that they have to tell themselves to, like, it's crazy. It's all bullshit.
Yep. So
it'll be interesting what the judge thinks when he sees these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to get the way they make it sound that he's going to see a lot of stuff that's going to be.
Yeah. Good. I mean, this is probably the most insane docket he's ever seen. Like, it's just crazy.
Which, I mean, we've seen that in the past. Remember the AMC lawsuit in Delaware was the most insane the Delaware Court of Chancery had ever seen. So, like, this is what happens. And, like, going back even to the Sorrento case, which was in Texas, not Nevada, where they had to deal with the burdens of dealing with baggyisms in the Sorrento case. You know, that was when Wes Christian started his whole bankruptcy grift, using that as his justification for being able to do all the shit he's doing in Nevada. Called that one, by the way. Like, this is only going to get worse as more of these companies fucking bite the dust.
That's right.
And it's not going to get better. We do have some more drama, I guess. Due Diligence is getting thrown under the bus, to my understanding, on the whole busy beef and with Jeff Davies and all this stuff. Just like this is what's great, because like once like all the once all the stuff comes up, like, you know, you talk about them attacking Jeff Davies or these death threats or things like that, then they start throwing each other under the bus. And it's just crazy how quickly, you know, this cult devours its own. Not all of it is death threats and stuff. Some of it is just straight up sad. Apparently a 55-year-old investor gambled their life savings and took a loan out to buy MMTLP and is now
Paladin.
Financially ruined.
Yeah. He took a high interest loan. And now he's having to pay back the loan.
Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I played, but it's 4 whole minutes. So, I still got some other stuff to cover that will probably absorb time. We do have more of the stuff of the releases from the Next Bridge, attempting to get the S1 filed and everything like that from December 2023 on through. Have you gotten the chance to read any of this?
Oh, this was more SEC releases of communications? I didn't even see this.
Like, yeah, and this was posted by Manuel, of course, and he's got like 3.
Did the SEC drop them on Edgar?
I'm not sure, but he posted them on the 23rd.
They look similar, so probably. Wow. Okay. No, I haven't read those. I will though.
Yeah,
I read the other ones.
I'll have to take the chance to read these. He called the monkey paw curls. So remember, they were making all these promises that this stuff would be released, and now it's just being dropped. And yeah,
doesn't make them look great.
No, it definitely doesn't. Just some litigation catch up. We did get the final omnibus order of the court in the Wilcott case that has been finally dismissed. I think, though, he's planning on appealing this. I could be getting that wrong. We also have in the Kelly case, which they were bringing up as one of the ones that that they were suing FINRA in. I could have sworn I got that response. Oh well. We don't need to really. 28th. Oh, so this dropped today. Hello. Is this FINRA responding? Knock twice.
No, it's by William. It's not today. That's the 26th. Today's 28th. Oh, that one is. Okay.
Yeah, that one is. That's why I was confused, because I said, oh, I thought I got the supplemental response, the response to the supplemental brief. Basically, you know, FINRA made the filing here with the supplemental to their motion to dismiss, saying that here's all these additional cases that have been dismissed. And then they noticed the plaintiff, Kelly responded, and it looks like just today, FINRA responded back.
There you go.
But basically, in the filing that Kelly did, he was saying that a bunch of the case law wasn't applicable here. But let's see what FINRA has to say back. Let's back it up one. Defendant financial dismissed this response to Kelly's notice of supplemental authorities. Kelly relies on the Gillette decision, advances two arguments. First, with regards to the application of immunity to FINRA's challenged conduct in this action, Kelly claims that entities structured as independent corporations like FINRA must accept the corresponding obligation to answer for their conduct in court. However, Gillette decision is not material to FINRA's defense of absolute regulatory immunity. The Gillette decision concerns only the application of sovereign immunity, a defense not even raised by FINRA's motion to dismiss. Whoopsies. Second, Kelly's claims that SRO immunity is limited to conduct falling within the functions. Yeah, we already know that. And, you know, clearly a halt is within the regulatory aspect of what it does. Also, this Gillette case, this was about the, I want to say, it's
stop using AI for your responses, guys.
And it was about the, I want to say, New Jersey Transportation Authority, and I guess one of the New Jersey buses struck someone, and they wanted to know if they had liability or if they were immune because it was a government agency, and they said that the government agency was independent enough that they had their own liability and did not have the protections of government sovereign immunity. So that's what that ruling was about.
I mean, it says it right there in the thing that the Gillette decision is not applicable at all in this case.
Yeah. So I think we're ready for earnings time, guys. Are you ready for earnings? Where we don't have our first one, however, is not GameStop.
Didn't they delay it? Did they
delay they again delayed it. It was supposed to be on March 25th, and they kicked it out to the 31st. So they moved it twice now. That's not a great sign if you're a Beyond Meat person. Even if you're a consumer like
are there still Beyond Meat people?
I mean, probably.
They still exist? Well,
oh dear. It says that they're still completing the process. And in addition to other previously identified material weaknesses, the company determined that a material weakness in internal control over financial reporting existed as of December 31st. This is not good. 2025 related to controls associated with the accounting for its inventory provision, including amounts recorded for the provision of excess and obsolete inventory. Oh boy. Yeah, this is going to be bad. Oh, they're saying that
so they're going to have to restate
certain errors related to its previously issued financial statements for 2025. The errors resulted in an understatement of costs of goods sold and certain selling, general, and administrative expenses, and an overstatement of loss from impairment in the third quarter of 2025. Oh my.
That must be the China thing.
Well, that's great.
Perfect.
Sad.
Yeah.
They're also filing. They also expect to file its annual report on Form 10-K for the full year ended December 31st, 2025, the same day after market close. So they're going to do their QNK.
What do you mean?
So this was the original one where they said on March 16th.
Isn't this? Aren't they talking about their quarterly earnings that they were reporting on the 31st?
No, this would be year end, right?
Yep. So they originally had it slated for the 16th.
So they pushed off.
Then
This
they
is from
moved
the
it.
push off of the year end. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it was originally March
I
16th.
thought they were just doing
and then they pushed it out to the 25th. And now they're saying actually the 31st, guys.
Oof.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Not looking good out there for them. We do have another earnings report that came out in Baggy World. First was that they had announced that their filing was supposed to come out. Let me see here. It was supposed to come out on the 24th. It did not. And then they were 2 days late. Actually, 3 days late.
They also deleted the PR from 310 where they said, okay, so they deleted that PR that said it was going to be on the 24th and they didn't file it until the 26th, right?
Correct. Which this is our brief overview of it. I do have the actual SEC filing if we want to get down and dirty in that.
Not really.
I wasn't really around about bringing on Running with Bears because I didn't know how long the interview would go. But yeah, QNTM did not do so hot.
I mean, look, net loss of 27 million. CFO sold himself all receivables from the strategic investments division, resulting in a loss of 117K. 3 execs each received 900K in compensation. And then the estimated phase 2 study completion is Q4 28.
Which is just proof that the company is being drained by the C-suite of anything of value, which is going directly into their pockets. And then the company is just left with everything else.
Unbuzzed sales not reported, too low to be material. 278K spent on travel, meals, and entertainment. Still have 7 employees. Only 2 have a research role. 3.2 million spent on, quote, professional fees. 1.9 million spent on investor relations. 794K spent on consultants. Now, this kind of coincides with the posts that I think Matt's been making them too, of like I was paid $200 to post, or I was paid $400 to post.
You're really good at these transitions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've been posting a couple of them too. That's one thing I will say about Quantum is all of their baggy pumper support grifters.
Is that the consultants? Is that the $794,000 they spent on this?
Mm-hmm.
Stock support consultants like Torchlight and Emmet.
Yeah, and of course the share count has increased as they continue to dilute. I have not read their study, but when you send your study to a not reparable journal to try and duck real review by actual professional people in the industry, that's not a good sign.
The person's name is Lycanbull. Who did the study? Is that what that is?
No, that's the person posting about it. Here's the actual. This is from Stock Titan, so I don't even know who did the study.
Yeah, this is an AI
World
summary.
Journal of Pharmaceutical and Medical Research.
Okay.
Let's see if we can find that.
They're accepting payment, so.
Oh, well, there you go. So they were paid to basically. Well, we already know what the results of that study probably was then. Done. We have not gotten an update in the mythical spoofing lawsuit, but we did get an update in their lawsuit where they are there's a lot of that in the biopharma space, sadly, where you can, just like you can pay for grifters to pump your stock, you can
that's scary
pay for people to pump your fake
to review your drugs. Like that's terrifying.
We did get an update in their trademark lawsuit case. Basically, they were denied by the judge the motion to strike and the motion for summary judgment on some of the claims. So we continue to seem ever onward and ever forward on this case, and it's not going away, it looks like, anytime soon. But nothing really particularly new on that to report, so we will move on to our next earnings.
This is all, I have not read this, so this is all plot.
You know what, I thought that this was kind of an interesting earnings when you look at it from the, let me see here. So net sales obviously were down because they've been, closing a lot of stores. But let's see here. SG&A obviously was also down. Operating income was up, which is good. And the other kind of problem with it is, I mean, they have cash on their balance sheet, but half of their earnings at the bottom line was again from their securities, the bond holdings and everything like that. The other half is the operating income. What I thought was interesting is this the fourth quarter? Okay, so this is the fourth quarter. You get to net income for the fourth quarter, and it was actually down, which was interesting to me that, you have a higher operating income, but your net income overall, I'm not sure what caused that. Maybe Platinum could enlighten on that. The full year review.
Well, it looks like their net sales were down too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, yeah, because they were closing stores and things like that. So again, net sales are down also year over year. And that's why, a lot of people I've seen complain about GameStop. Why aren't they getting a forward multiple that's, um, in line with their improvement on the bottom line? And it's because eventually you're going to run out of things to cut. So, you got to see some sales growth that shows that you're going to have a top and bottom line that grows and shows a company that's growing. So you're not going to see a multiple on the book on the price to book and things like that. You're going to see, not a lot of people willing to put a premium on this unless you start showing revenue growth with your income growth, which I don't know. Maybe we'll see that, depending on what this buyout that they're planning is going to be and what their plans are going forward, because again, didn't get an earnings call. Hopefully he'll give some enlightening statements.
I mean, how long has it been? It's been years with no conference calls.
It's been at least 2, I want to say.
Yeah.
Because there hasn't been an earnings call since he's ran the company that I'm aware of. So there's like everyone's being left in the dark.
You see that? GameStop's next big idea will come from Kreikel. He wants to sell Hitler Funko Pops.
Well, I will say that's a fun time. We'll bring that up. I did get a report back from Dolphin that because it was one of those NFT slop shops, he said that they couldn't undo the crypto transaction, but they basically put walls up on Michael being able to sell that product in particular that infringed his copyright and basically put more restrictions on Michael's NFT.
They basically shadow banned him, right?
More or less, yes. So that, best of luck on his little grift now. Mm-hmm. So, that at least some justice came of that horse shit. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Our next post was actually by Platinum here, talking about the only thing that we've gotten from them as far as their forward-looking business strategy, which is capital allocation, utilizing our significant capital resources to actively evaluate and execute on opportunities to acquire, invest, and partner with businesses, and operational excellence, maximizing cash flow of our legacy retail business. So at least as far as we know right now, their plan is still to go forward with their legacy business, which could be perfectly viable in my opinion, so long as they execute on it, appropriately.
Well, the price of
we have no idea how or what the
price of the PS5 is going up, like the PS5 Pro or whatever is going up to like $899.99. So
yeah. Well, I mean, they don't get much from like the hardware, but again, we've talked about like when we had Adabit on and we talked about the possible mergers and acquisitions. There's definitely a process that they could go, a route they could go to make it a perfectly good business. Like, I mean, GameStop isn't the only like outlet like it. Like I
saw something about them maybe acquiring Best Buy, but
no,
definitely
I don't really know about that.
I mean, like there's like vintage stock is kind of in the same demo as GameStop, and I've like as far I know that's a private company, but as far as their operations, they seem like they're doing fine. So there's no reason that GameStop can't execute on its legacy retail business. It's just be nice to know what your plan was to do that.
They don't have one.
Well, before their plan was like what I quote tweeted was that what their business priorities used to be in over there. And it was
this one, right?
They wanted to get profitable,
which they've done.
Yeah, so okay, good. I mean, they wanted to do
leverage brand equity to support growth.
Taking steps to ensure we are a fast and convenient solution for customers. So increased product availability, faster fulfillment through ship from store offerings. So they have pretty much done this, right? Like, and then leverage brand equity to support growth. They literally did that. Their power packs, like they talk about their power packs and earnings and how they went from, I want to say, I think it was like 700 and something million for collectibles to, I want to say a little over 1 billion for collectibles. Is that right for the year?
I haven't really gotten to take a huge deep dive into the.
Well, see my replies because I forget if I put it in there or not. Like, just look at my replies to this tweet. So they, yeah, no acquisitions yet.
And we did actually get something that was.
Oh, they're doing covered calls on their Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Yes, which I love that. Thank you.
Which explains why they moved everything to Coinbase.
Mm-hmm. This is what you do. You try to make some of your money back or sell at a loss, I guess.
Yeah. Well, maybe make your losses back and then sell at a loss. So that way the covered calls at least cover your losses.
Yeah, exactly. Keep going. Do I have anything else? Because I want to see about that collectible thing.
That some baggies.
Oh my God, yes.
Executed their warrants.
So stupid.
Out of the money warrants.
$32. Very special, guys. Good job.
There has been some back and forth though, because it was mentioned about the performance award. There's been some back and forth, some people that like it, some people that are really,
some people who thought it was a threat.
Yeah, some people are like literally going nuts about
they were like, is he threatening shareholders?
Yeah, it's called a risk disclosure. They're just disclosing a risk, and so yeah, read it, which, you know, it's good that people are reading the risks, and if you're not comfortable with it, then sell your shares. Like, that's just how it works. You know what I mean? Depends on your risk tolerance on.
Yeah, of course. We also are getting, we are getting some of the getting some of the Adam Aaron level vitriol showing up.
Oh, this guy wants a RICO.
Oh God, with the space and then the space and I don't know about this punctuation. I think these are all the same people sometimes.
My goodness.
Oh my goodness, that one on the bottom. Oh
my.
Oof.
Yeah. This is just getting kind of sad. Kind of fucking sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I look, I have my own personal bias against the payment structure. I look at it the same way I look at the Elon Musk one. I think it's horribly exploitive. Just pay him like a normal fucking executive and give him bonus compensation of shares or stuff like that if you want him to be more aligned with shareholders. But this whole like performance payout package that gives an obscene amount of shares to the executive to for no other reason other than to exploit investors and exploit the company is ridiculous.
Well, he also has to really pump that stock price in order to get paid. And I feel like he already is aligned with shareholders because he's already bought a ton of shares on his own with his own money. He hasn't sold them. Right. So he's already there. And I mean,
yeah, like most of these packages, I don't like. I don't understand why you can't just pay him like a normal executive. It feels it, and it only adds to the kind of sort of negative vibe that he's just trying to be Elon, little mini me Elon Musk, of trying to be this kind of edgelord sort of tech bro kind of guy, and it's starting to rub people the wrong way.
Yeah, maybe.
But from GameStop, we move on to the next of the big three, that the other one that still remains. Though I suppose you can say the third of the big three has been reincarnated and are getting ready to dilute shareholders even more, because didn't BYND now ask for an increase in their cap on shares that they can issue? I think I saw that going around.
BYND
the artist
or
formerly
AMC?
known as Overstock.
Wait, Bed Bath?
Oh, BBBY?
Yeah,
so
the artist
confused.
formerly known as Overstock.
Okay, so that's BBBY now, the actual BBBY.
BBBY. Are you
Did they ask
Yeah.
for an increase in authorized shares?
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't even watch that company.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't either. I just see it sometimes come up in my feed, and it's like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Okay. But we've already talked about this stupid ass lawsuit, and apparently they're going to analyze it with OpenClaw. Whoa, fancy. But like we've talked about the Simmons lawsuit and how res judicata. This has already been adjudicated. This fucking lawsuit is dead on arrival. But apparently AMC baggies are getting really hyped about it now, so I get ready to be disappointed. Not that people in the AMC community are not used to being disappointed, given the stock prices now.
They love it.
95 cents.
They love it. They love it. They love it.
Get their cheapies. Getting their cheapies. So.
No, they love it.
Speaking of which, also we're getting some very disingenuous arguments when it comes to AMC now. For about $25 a month, AMC A-List gets you up to 4 IMAX movies a week. I mean, if your theater has IMAX. Wall Street said theaters were dead. No, they said your shitty movie company was dead. Now Netflix is raising prices. Yeah. Like you get the entire Netflix archive. like these two are not comparable. I don't get this whole game of,
because their whole argument is that people don't want to sit at home and watch movies or shows or whatever. Like, and I think history in the present proves you otherwise, sir.
Well, not just that, but if you have a reasonable income, like if you're kind of in that middle class area to like upper middle class, you can afford to make a pretty comparable experience to the theaters at home at a very reasonable price, depending on how you go about it. And it's why a lot of these theaters, like AMC and Cinemark, are having to spend all this money to refurbish and improve their experience, making better resolution projectors, giving the IMAX experience, which costs about the same as the premium subscription he's whining about. Like, to go to an IMAX.
I know that you can get the boxes of candy that they sell at these theaters for so much money. You get for like $1 at the grocery store.
Right.
And I've done that. I've set up like a candy tray and made popcorn for my kids, and we just all sit together and watch.
You can even get the AMC popcorn now in stores.
No, I won't. No.
So
we are a pop secret family.
So a lot of what's driving people, and AMC has even admitted this, most of their people who are return customers and the theaters that are getting the most business are these high-end theaters that have the higher Dolby Vision surround sound and the IMAX experience, which tend to be more expensive theaters too. Yeah. And the reason this is a big problem for AMC is most of their theaters aren't that, and they're having to spend money that they currently don't have to get these theaters up to snuff, whereas Cinemark already has theaters because they haven't over leveraged themselves to fucking hell and back. So it's just one of these things that, again, when we're talking about, here he's saying Netflix said Wall Street wants you to believe this same as watching film from your iPad. Well, first of all, if you're at home, you're not watching it from your iPad. You're watching it from your 4K television, which those are now ridiculously cheap to get.
Yeah.
Or you can get a pretty cheap projector with a pretty good fidelity that would be pretty comparable. Like this IMAX kind of like giant screen, that isn't a normal ticket price. That's the admission for these are $25 to $35, where the normal ticket price is about half of that. So like this is not comparable in the slightest, but this fucking clown shoes investor turd guy wants you to believe that like these are comparable things, and it's just not.
Nope.
Oh, I'm sure you'll like this one, Amy. We brought fucking Boss Blunts back for another episide of how is this guy
of him selling his bullshit. That's 4 years and never come out.
Yep. I don't get me wrong. I think the tokenized securities craze, especially now that NASDAQ has gotten approval from the SEC to do it, is stupid and a horrible idea. But this is just slop nonsense. When I was watching Cobra Kai the other day, I kept thinking, you know what would make this better? Sticky floors with kids screaming behind me. I mean, that's not necessarily everyone's theater experience, but there's certainly bad ones, to be completely frank. It's in my living room. Gotta say, like, yeah. And you know, it's not cheap. Like a lot of those sometimes can be like anywhere from $1,000 to several $1,000s. But for most people who are living in a moderate, income range, so like this is not a problem. So
I mean,
I
like,
guess,
do you think he ever releases it?
no.
I mean, like, what kind of regulatory hurdles does he have to go through to have an exchange?
Probably a lot.
I was gonna say, I would think it would be quite a bit, right? So, like, has he ever released like a status report on that?
Not that I've seen, other than he's taking in more investor money from private equity firms. So
because that process is probably fairly intense. If I was giving this person money, I would be like, where are you on the regulatory stuff?
Well, that's why he took money from baggies, because they're not going to ask questions.
Wow.
So I think it's now time for stupid tweet of the week. If you guys have your pick, I've got mine. I think I've got a winner. We'll see.
I think I have a winner.
You joining us, Platinum, or I'm gonna
you know what? I actually think I do have one. I think I saved it.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Mine's up.
Okay,
Wait,
I'll let you go while I get
Please
things
don't be
set
the
up.
same one.
Might be.
Oh no.
Oh boy. So this one's a video.
Citadel Securities in 0.72.
Oh, I saw
Hello,
this.
Vlad.
Wait, let's make sure we preface this. This is Roy and Kitty's brother, who seems to be trying to capitalize on Bro's
even
fame.
more cringe than I realized.
It's terrible. All right, here we go.
You're missing an eye. Hello, Vlad. I want to play a game. You're almost valid, but you're missing an eye. You can't see the damage. You sold the people a promise, a fair market, a seat at the table.
Let's see him.
NSCC, Melvin Capital, Citadel Securities in 0.72.
Dude. Thanks for the tip on calling out the bluff.
But when the powerful began to lose, you changed the rules. You restricted buying, and you called it necessary. The people called it betrayal. Now you stand where they stood. Powerless, concerned. Around you is the fortune built from trust. Above you is the exit built from truth. And between them is the weight of every choice you made. When other people's futures were just numbers on a screen, the clock is running. Money talks, but is it worth selling your soul? You can hold on to the illusion that this was fairness. In the end, the market is not judging you.
Dude,
the people
stop
are.
all these
the
fucking,
choice is yours.
enough. Like with the like,
I don't even
it's so clear he did this in CapCut. There's so many CapCut transitions and filters. That was painful to watch. Very painful to watch. All right, you ready, Platinum?
Sure. Hold on.
Awesome.
Okay, so this one I saved.
I think that also proves of who was probably posting all of those memes on the Roaring Kitty account. But anyway, go ahead.
No, those were a lot better quality than that.
So if you didn't know, here's why I believe we might be a part of SpaceX, based on signals over the last few years, either through a merger or early pre-IPO investment, maybe via some kind of contract. Well, Pulte wore an astronaut costume during the PP show, around 3 hours and 3 minutes. He and PP were supposed to fly to SpaceX by private jet, but it didn't work out due to technical issues. Pulte also flew with Christopher, a cybersecurity expert connected to SpaceX AI payments, etc.
He sure did.
He's posted photos near SpaceX rockets multiple times. The Teddy book. Look at the bottom right. Earth, moon, land, space, even a small UFO guy.
Of course, the Teddy book gets in there.
Remember the GameStop note offering called Project Rocket? For that, we saw Ryan Cohen posting about the UAE in a photo. This guy, Elon, posted BBBY. He didn't say that, but it has gone full beyond. I really want to put a Ryan in charge of Ryanair. It's your destiny. And there's much more. My view, GME may have invested into DK Butterfly.
Oh, God.
Pre-IPO or merger. And if that's true, the entry valuation was way, way lower. And you can already imagine what happens if this actually plays out. And this is only one piece of a much bigger puzzle. Still open questions around X payments, Mr. Beast, BYQ fraud payouts, all the basket stocks, etc.
Plow wins.
All right. So I have mine. I can't remember if I actually mentioned it. I may have tipped it off a little bit. But James Fishback saying that hire a lawyer who loses your case, don't pay him. Order chicken, get shrimp, don't pay them. As Florida governor, I will only pay government contractors when their job is done fully correct and on time. I love the community note down here. Lawyers are generally paid regardless of the case outcome.
Yeah.
What was really funny about this one was there was a video. I'll probably at some point post that. But you'll notice here, post unavailable. Why is that? Oh, he deleted the post. You/deleted. Goodbye.
Which post? Fishback deleted the post?
Yeah, Fishback deleted the post.
This post?
Yes.
Nice.
Of course he did. I mean, he probably got so much flack for that.
Oh, he got probably so much shit for it. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and he tried to say that Trump said something similar.
I mean, Trump probably did say something similar.
I forgot. I did have the audio. 1 second. Sorry. This is
controversial to say this, but if you hire a lawyer to win you a case and he loses you a case, you don't pay him. If you go to a restaurant and ask for chicken and they give you...
Okay, that's him just repeating the post. Never mind then.
And they give you shrimp, you say something and then you get the right food and then
you get what you wanted. Yeah. Like, we also, I got a DM about this.
Do we have a response?
We got Josh Cohen came out of his hidey hole.
Oh, that's today.
Attorney-client privilege documents. Yes, from today.
Oh my God.
Open image and new tab. Let's do that. Boom. Oh, it's still tiny as shit. Anyway, so his post here says, Chris Evans is our general counsel, and here's me posting our communications with each other. He's above Lane Haygood in only company. Yes, Chris is funny, and this is a huge joke. Here's a little internal memo on Sarah Stockner, by the way. He is just so obsessed with her. And just the tip of the iceberg, because if I had this on Sarah Stockner, you can't believe the mountain of bullshit we have in federal court on other goons. Sure. I can't even read this. It's so tiny. Is there a way to... Excuse me for a second here. Here we go. I think I may have solved our problem. to Josh from Lane Haygood. This is attorney-client privilege materials. He has just posted on X, by the way. Amazing.
Somebody save him.
No longer privileged.
Yeah, no longer privileged.
They were.
Even in the title, they're privileged. Attorney-client privilege work product. This is the point where if you're someone's attorney,
says it on there.
you literally go to that person. You immediately
Wait, it says it where?
say, I'm no longer.
It says privileged.
I am no longer
privileged / work product, like right at the top.
I am no longer your lawyer. This is ridiculous.
So stupid.
Actual background: Vision Oil and Gas recently completed an application.
Did you send Jason this?
No, he sent me this.
Oh, did he?
Like while we were live, I checked my DMs and he's like, "By the way, this was posted." I'm like, So they go on talking about the tweets here. Josh Cohen denies any relationship to the operation of the account, accused of impersonating a lawyer. Okay, cool, by him. Josh Cohen has identified the Zombie Wells account as belonging. Yeah, she does say that in her profile. That's not new news. Account is rightly known in the Permian Basin and oil and gas community to be strong. Yeah, okay, cool. Defined arbitration requires a subpoena for the account registered IP access data. Cohen also identifies third-party Josh Pollard, who he believes is acting in concert with Stogner and who allegedly committed tortious interference. What tortious interference? What are you fucking talking about? Oh, don't worry. I got you. I got you all. Because the minute I go and click open in new tab, he's fucked. Oh, this one's actually of a good resolution quality. That you can actually read. 3 threshold issues. No cause action can succeed without establishing that Stogner operates. She already, like, she admits it. It's there in the, like, account you go to it. It says that she operates it. So, like, also, what the heck are they even suing over? Oh, there's defamation per se. Like, she's saying I'm, like, she didn't even say she was investigating Josh.
Fraudulent transfer.
Also, she's totally within her right to make statements as a public official. Like, she's protected from what are we even talking about here? This is so dumb. This is a ridiculous amount of dumb. We're just going to take a screen snap of that and put that in the internet does not forget nor forgive archive. All right, Josh. It was funny.
We'll review. Thank you for the privileged information.
Thanks for your contributions to our humor. Our chuckles. Let me check.
Yeah. It was a good one, man. I saved that from like the beginning of the week.
It was a good one.
Ready.
Yeah.
Oh, I lie. That was 2 days ago. It just felt like a lot longer.
So, any final thoughts on this week? Boy, that was quite a
what
doozy.
A week.
Free
it was great.
Oh, Rub My Axe are the greatest. Thank you.
So the sweep goes to platinum. She had all the YouTube votes and even picked up the Twitch vote.
Oh hell yeah, it was absolutely insane.
Yeah. That was great. Josh, don't stop being you. You are a lolcow in every sense of the word. Like that.
For real.
Oh, for sure.
That was amazing. So
Free Tiger.
I'm probably going to have extra stuff probably over the week because, you know, like I said, Josh, he just can't shut up. He just doesn't shut up. And there's a few things that we didn't quite get to. But as for now, for tonight, though, I believe we're done. It was fun. It was nice having a guest on. It was nice having you ladies here again, as always. And we will catch you next time.